Welcome.
Christine. How are you today? You look very lovely. We've definitely got the same memo, darling. The pink and white memo.
It used to be red, and then somebody once told me, in fact, it was Trini and Susanna, doesn't she realise that red does nothing for a mature complexion?
Really? Gosh, that surprises me, because sometimes when I wear red, and I am mature,
You're not mature at all. Don't be ridiculous. Don't believe her, Christine. She's not mature.
I feel nice in red, don't you?
To be honest, I hate to admit it, I do think that they were right, and the softer sort of raspberry, peachy, pinky tones, I think are better for the slightly older complexion. Why wear one if 6 will do?
Quite right too.
Absolutely. I'm absolutely mesmerised by your curtains at the moment.
Oh, thank you. These are on their 3rd remake. This is the 3rd. We're terribly economical.
They look
What
lovely.
do you mean 3rd remake? What happened to the first 2?
Oh, the houses went.
Oh, I see.
No, the houses went. So this is the 3rd house that we've just twiddled them a bit and put them up in. All the curtains in this house, which is a big house, they're all remakes, which is quite good, isn't it?
Very good.
You can make clothes like Julie Andrews and The Sound of Music. You can take them down and you can make costumes for us all out of them.
Those out of curtains, I'll tell you. Scarlett O'Hara.
Yes.
That's right.
Is it?
Yes.
When she went to the ball, and then Rhett Butler,
Recognise.
he actually knew because he looked at her hands, didn't he?
Right, you could see. Well, don't talk about hands. I've got gardening hands.
Well, my hands are perfect because they've never done any work or any washing up or anything ever.
Yes, her 4-lettered words. Iron. What is the other one?
The
Cook.
4-letter words in my house are cook, dust, wash, and iron. If you mention those in my house, you'll be asked to leave, because those are 4-letter words I will not tolerate.
So who does it all?
I don't know. They somehow get done. There's no one else that lives here. I have 4 dogs. They might do it all.
He's a great delegator.
Yes, absolutely right, Nat. You're right.
Oh.
Christy, but you work very hard, don't you, Doc?
Talking about housework, so I think we better move on, don't you? Although I tell you, the other day Neil was helping. He was carrying a load of clean sheets upstairs, and he fell and he's broken a rib. So he now can't do anything at all. It's so painful. He's about 2 weeks in, so we're beginning to get him able to do a few things, but it's been a nightmare. He hasn't been able to sleep. But there we go.
No.
Oh,
You know, when I was many, many years ago, when I first got married, my husband said, "Can you iron my shirt?" And I said, "Yes, of course," having never ironed anything before, ever. Yeah, it was going to boarding school, all of those things, because everything's done for you. And then being an actress and going in the theatre, everything's done for you there. So I said, of course. So I tried to get the ironing board out, and it fell down on the floor. I didn't know how to put it up. So then I started to iron on the carpet and thought, oh, no, that's a bit dirty. So then I thought, I know, the wall is white. So I started to iron his shirt on the wall. He came home and he said, "What are you doing?" And I said, I'm ironing your shirt. He went, "On the wall?" I went, "Well, it was the only clean white place I could find." And he went, "Don't ever do that again, darling." So there you go.
so you didn't?
What you should have is ironed it on a towel on the floor. Towel on the floor, then you could have done it. I've done that before.
Yeah, but, you know, this was a young, innocent child who'd never ironed.
My gosh, goodness me. So, Christine, last time I saw you, you said that you'd been working really, really hard and entertaining. Do you do a lot of entertaining? Because I know that you cook a lot, don't you?
I'll tell you what I'd been doing. We live very close to badminton, and hence the badminton horse trials. And every year, thousands and thousands of people descend upon badminton. And I took it over from a friend of mine about 6 years ago. Her husband was very ill, and she said, "Christine, I've had these people coming to stay for badminton for the last whatever." There was some sort of slight family connection, you know, somebody's uncles, great aunts, sisters, whatever. So I said, okay, all right. And they've been coming every year ever since. And we have 9 of them. And they're quite easy because all they require, they all live in East Anglia and Suffolk, Norfolk area. They require a stonking good breakfast at 8 o'clock, all of them and then they're off for the day and they don't come back till about 5:30 or 6, where they just want baths and showers. They go off to a local pub most evenings and I give them dinner on one evening. They're very jolly and they're friends now and they always bring lots of alcohol with them. One of them, part of the Adnams gin. So we have a splendid time, but you know, it's hard work. It's hard work, but great fun.
Wonderful.
No, I don't. We don't run a guest house. One of them said to me on the first year, "Do you do this often?" I absolutely not. They do pay, of course. They're paying guests.
Oh, good.
We could have a Wonderbirds.
Oh, can we come and stay?
You
Yes.
could all come and fly and stay in your nest.
And I've always loved cooking. And I went on Celebrity MasterChef. I didn't put myself forward away. I would never have done that because I just regarded myself as a sort of the normal family, reasonably good sort of family cook type person. I'm not as fit as I was. I've got osteoporosis, so I've got 2 broken vertebrae in my back. And I've had 13 operations from the knee down. So standing at a stove, doing it's all the preparation and everything. I can't do it in the way that I used to do it. So I don't cook as much as I used to. I'm afraid is one allowed to advertise? I do enjoy cook with a capital C, the frozen ones.
But how did you and Neil meet?
Oh my goodness, I can hardly remember. We were 18 and we're now 75.
Oh,
We met at a student conference, a student youth conference, not the Young Conservatives. We were at separate universities and the Tory party threw this conference once a year for the 2 representatives of each University Conservative Association. And we met on the back of Winton Castle and that was that.
wow. I mean, to be together that long is quite something. Also, Christine, to be a girl going to university then, what were you specialising in? Because it wasn't as common, was it, to go to uni then?
No, it wasn't. And, you know, people nowadays, they what's the word, grumble, complain, etc., about having to pay for their university fees. But now anybody can go to university and there are thousands more going to university. So who else is going to pay for it? When I went, there was a tiny fraction of people went to university. I mean, it wasn't, you know, not like in 1950s, as it were. If they don't benefit from the degree at the end of the day, whose fault is that?
What did you study, Christine?
I went up to do economics. And for the first year, we did all the sciences. We did economics, politics, sociology, etc., etc. And I very rapidly got interested in the social side of university. And we had he was a statistician who was teaching us economics. Wasn't that brilliant on the maths side. And I just turned right off it. So I thought, right, the easy option here is sociology. So I switched to that, which was an absolute doddle. And we used to go off and have fun at some, you know, in the afternoons and weekends, and all those poor sods in the chemistry lab and things. Neil would tell you that I had a degree in advanced partying. And then we had an interregnum. I sowed my wild oats and he munched his Weetabix or whatever he did. And now we've been together since February 78.
You said you were 75. You look fantastic. You have so much energy. And what is the secret? You sound as if you're somebody who's interested in so many different things. Do you think it's that?
Probably. I mean, if you don't have an interest in anything, I mean, I'm everything. I'm not massively interested in football, for example. But I am interested in everything. And I'll tell you what I am interested in. And Natalie, I'm interested in other people. And I think if you maintain an interest in other people and their lives and what they're doing, I mean, I don't actually have 24/7 as much energy as people think because I run out of it. We went to an 80th birthday party yesterday. And honestly, if I had the energy of that 80-year-old, I would swap. I really would. But I think you just have to accept it. I always say to young people, you know, don't look up. Look up for inspiration, but don't look up and think, oh, I want that. They've got a better car, a better this, a better house, a better whatever. You know, just look down at the people below you and the people who would be looking up at you and just be blooming thankful for what you've got. And I think most people have probably got more than they realise if they think about it. The right
Well, you can't take it with you anyway. My mother used to say, as long as you have a roof over your head, food in your stomach, you are wealthy.
Do you know, the older you get, the more you realise how true that is, that you can't take it with you. And I'm not maudlin about it. I mean, but I have this great trick. Neil's birthday is in March and mine is in November. So by the time I actually get to be 75, I've been calling myself 75 for some time. And therefore it's nothing.
Christine, if you think of your body, if you think of your mind and your body, I think we all, as well, I think we sort of condition ourselves, oh, we are getting older, so we should slow down. But I think, I don't think that. I look at myself and think, oh, come on, you can do this. There are people in other cultures that keep going until they're 100. So it's us, I think our culture tells us, oh, time to stop.
I don't know about that, actually. I mean, I think, 70 is the new 50 and all that thing. I'm not talking about slowing down. I think I was really referring to material possessions. You can't take it with you. And something else I always say to young people is be there for your friends. Make time. You can make time. People think you can't. You can make time. And the girls are much better at that. I mean, I don't know about you, your life, but Neil doesn't have a coterie of men friends like I have a coterie of girlfriends. Am I unique in that, or your chaps?
No.
I think you're right. Women friends support each other. Are you thinking about doing any more appearances? In panto or in, because you were were you actually in the vaginal monologues?
Monologues, yes, I'd forgotten about that. That was, oh my goodness, I'm not going to use the word, but I said the C word, shouted it out to 4,000 people in Edinburgh Playhouse. And I remember saying when I was rehearsing with the one with the producer, I said, I use this word. This was 12 or 13 years ago. I said, and she said, Christine, yes, you can. He said, shout it out 20 times now at the top of your voice. In a sort of rehearsal, sort of scout hall type of place. And so I did. And she said, now, do you feel better? And I said, yes, I think I do.
I think you should do it now and put it out on Instagram. That would get a lot of traction.
It's for the love of art
as well. Wouldn't that be great? Wow.
Yes, I would. I thank you, but no, I'll pass on that one. And I'd never thought of myself being on a stage in any shape or form. But when you've done the monologue and when you've strutted your stuff in fishnets and Basque and goodness knows what in Rocky Horror, it's wonderful, absolutely wonderful, great fun. And I'll tell you the thing I learned, which I'm sure you all know, but all the girls do that sort of thing, showing off their legs and high kicking. They've all got wonderful gripper tights underneath, which simply hold everything solidly in place. Then you put the fishnets over the top.
Christine.
Their secret. But I wish I'd seen that production of Rocky Horror Show. That would have been so much fun.
Yeah.
We went, where did we do it? We started in Oxford at the Oxford Playhouse. We went to Milton Keynes, Birmingham, Southampton, Bristol, I think. I mean, it was fabulous. It really was. It was huge fun. We loved it. But, I wouldn't want to do that all the time. And I think it was 8 weeks in total. Such fun. But, I couldn't do it now. I haven't got frankly, let's be honest, I haven't got the energy. And my back does cause me a lot of trouble. So I wear a back belt a lot of the time. It's very sexy. I've got it here.
Whoa.
It helps to support your back, and it takes the weight off your muscles for a bit. I wish I'd had one. If I'd had a bone density scan 10 years earlier, I would have known that I was heading for osteoporosis. I could have started taking the tablets, as it were, and I may have staved off the actual breakages.
Yeah. What was the first signs, Christine, of you getting osteoporosis?
Well, I went to I can't remember why, but I went to our local hospital, the Great Western at Swindon, which is very good. I have to say, I have a lot of time for it. We have just come back from it actually a couple of weeks ago, Neil and his rib. They're very efficient. Anyway, I went in, and you know, sometimes they weigh you and measure you and all that business. And she was measuring me, said whatever she said in centimeters. I said, I'm sorry, what's that in feet and inches? She said, oh, you're 5'7". 7.5. And I said, no, I'm not. I said, I've always been 5'8". I was born 5'8". So I said, can we do it again? So we did it again. And she said, no, 100%, you are 5'7.5". And I honestly thought, the silly woman got it wrong. Or thought, oh, they've put the thing on the wall in the wrong place. If only she had said, you are a 62-year-old woman, you think you're taller than you are, have a bone density scan. If only she'd said that, what I think should be said to women of that sort of age, then I would have, as I say, possibly been on the hyaluronic acid. And it might have stopped.
Is that what you take?
Sounds awful.
Tablet or an infusion?
Well, you can have it, there's different ways you can have it. I chew a pill every day, and I do a calcium thing. And then I take another pill once a week. You can have an injection once every 6 months, or there's another method where you have an injection once every year. But to be honest, I just thought taking a pill once a week is easier than having to go and have an injection once a year. But
Quite right.
I don't wonder, that's strange, isn't it, when you think about how you can have an injection once a year for something that you have a tablet once a week for. I always thought, how does it measure itself out within your body to know it's a year?
I have no idea. On these things about 2 years, and I remember saying to the doctor, can I have another scan to see how it's on? And he said, no, it's far too early for that. It's a very slow, all it hopefully will do is stop any more breakages.
The thing is with the DEXA scans, they don't like to give you too many, do they? You have to wait a period of time because you're getting a little bit of radiation, aren't you? It's like an X-ray. But I went and had something done, which is called a REM echo light. It's like ultrasound, so it checks what's going on with your bones, Christine, but what it also looks at is the inside, the quality of your bones on the inside. So you might have small bones, but it's a fragility score that they give you as well. And I went and had that done, and you get given all that information, but also how your bones look on the inside. And I think it's, you know, one day going to take over from the DEXA, which is the gold standard. But the REM echo light, I have a look at it, because you could go and check your own bones out anytime. And it's a place in Amersham called Profortis. And that's where I went. And he's fantastic. And it doesn't take very long, but it is like the ultrasound. So they're seeing inside your bones.
Very interesting. I might take you up on that.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Before we have to go, Christine, darling, can we just talk very briefly about Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here? Because you were so brilliant in that. What sort of experience was it? Was it horrific and exciting and wonderful and awful and all those things?
Just about sums it up. Do you know how long ago that was? As I was on the very first one, it was 22 years ago. It was 2000.
Wow, was it really?
Goodness.
And when they first asked me to do it in the January of that year, and of course, now everybody knows what it is, so they know what they're signing up to. We didn't know. I didn't know. ITV didn't. It wasn't fully formed in their mind. And I said, you know, what's this all about? And they talked about snakes and rats, all that sort of thing, and trials. And I just thought, we were having a pretty grim time in our own personal life at that point. And I just thought, you know, life is grim enough. I really don't need that. And I thought no more of it. And then fortunately, about July, they came back to me, and they obviously hadn't got their middle-aged mother hen. I was middle-aged in those days. And it's all about people all about, you know, cross personalities, etc. And I thought life had improved a bit by then. And I thought, well, okay, why not? And I said, well, there's two conditions. I said, first of all, I'd like a slightly bigger fee, thank you. Because in those days, they nothing like the fees that they get nowadays. I mean, honestly. And he was the only spouse partner who they flew out at their expense. And I remember Uri Geller, his wife had gone out, but he paid for it. I kept quiet. Now it's all inclusive package, but you know, I absolutely loved it. I mean, yes, there were ghastly moments, but it was great fun. And I was on with Uri Geller. I mentioned he had honor of being the first one out in the first series. Of course, nobody wants to be the first one out in any of things like that, and certainly not one of the entire series, which is now, say, for 22 years. Tara Palmer Tompkinson, who sang to commit suicide. She was an addictive personality, drugs, cigarettes, sex, frankly. And she was very flaky. And at one point, within about 24 hours, she threatened to walk out because she hadn't got a cigarette. She was shaking. The rest of us, this isn't fair. We're supposed to be on a level playing. So me and Andrew, the model, beautiful model, and Rona Cameron. She's a very left-wing comedian from. You know, I just came from opposite sides of every track you care to think of, but we actually got on well. We stood in the middle of the camp and they didn't broadcast this. And we just said, now look, you know, this isn't fair. If she's getting cigarettes, I want my wine. Nell, I think, wanted chocolate. This game is over unless you treat us all the same. So we got the wine, etc. There's acres of time when there's nothing to do, and deliberately. They make sure that there's nothing to do, and that's when you get on each other's nerves. But no, I loved it. And looking back, it gave me a mega sort of kickstart in my media career. I actually sometimes go a bit cold when I think that I said no. Now, stuff that's come off the back of that, and the amount of money I've managed to earn off the back of that too.
What was the nastiest trial that you had to do? What was the nastiest thing that you had to go through?
I was very lucky. I didn't get, you see, in those days, now almost everybody has to do the eating trial. I think probably the most revolting. Anyway, it was Yuri, and he was brilliant. He just simply, all the ghastly things, the witchetty grubs and everything, he just simply ate the lot. They lifted silver, whatever you call them, and there was this sort of steak and chips. You can have this or that, and he was brilliant. But now lots of people have to do the eating trial. No, the worst thing I had to do a quite tough underwater trial. I had no idea what was in the water. I had to dive down, get a box from the bottom of goodness knows where. There was a key in it, swim back, try and open a padlock. Of course, it was the wrong key. All this, that. Then I had to go. So that was the toughest. But I think the eating is probably the worst.
Oh, Christine, that's wonderful. Well, it's been such a delight having you on the show. We'd love to have you back again. You've got so much more to talk about. And we're going to see you very, very soon. And we watch you on GB News, etc. And, you know, I'm sure there's more exciting things that are going to be happening. We can't wait. See you very soon.
Bye, Christine.
Bye. Lovely to meet you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.